Today, there are hundreds of thousands of young people suffering from post-traumatic stress. They, along with their families, members, children, spouses, they need help, and that is why we're here today.
My daughter come up to me and she said, "Dad, do you remember the night that you said you were going to kill yourself?" This is 2 years after the fact. And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "I think about that sometimes." That broke my heart. And she deserves, and our families deserve, our military families deserve our best efforts. I think seeing soldiers in the same uniform that you're wearing, knowing that they're not going back home to their families, I think that had a significant impact, because as a police officer, I saw many dead bodies before. I'd been to several fatalities and suicides and deaths, and it never had an impact on me. But being in an environment and seeing soldiers wearing the same uniform as me, it had a different impact on me. So I tried many different things, and time and time again, I just found no relief, no peace. I couldn't stop thinking about it all night long, all day long. I would go to bed exhausted because I never got any sleep, and I would still stay up night after night and couldn't turn it off. And to be able to just do that alone, to be able to get some good sleep, was huge. That was worth learning TM by itself. But the fact that it did help me get off my anxiety medicine completely, and I've already reduced the amount of blood pressure medicine that I'm taking. I wasn't taking any meds at all for anything before I left. I had never felt fear. I thought I was invincible, and I'd never dealt with depression or anxiety, and those were all new feelings to me, and I didn't like it. But I've learned how to cope with it. I've learned how to give myself peace and relaxation every day. And here is a technique that is helping our soldiers from all generations of war, not just the current war, World War II, Vietnam, Persian Gulf. No matter what the war conflict is, TM has helped veterans from those wars. It's helped my wife immensely cope and deal with what happened in the aftermath. And she now believes I am better than I was before I even left for deployment. Our nation's heroes deserve to live happy lives after serving their country. Unfortunately, many of them are not, because they can't find peace. And we can help. Thanks to Operation Warrior Wellness, my mother has her son back, my wife has her husband back, my children have their father back, and I have my life back. So thank you very much for coming.
For Norwich, we've always worried about the whole person because in battle and in leadership positions in the United States military, you have to be a whole person. And so we've always concentrated not only making you very smart and making you very strong, making you a great leader, an ethical leader. I think that TM will provide us another whole dimension of integrating all of that, improving my performance in all of those domains. And I haven't found anything else that can do that yet.
I'm a data's guy, so I always go into this skeptically. And I said, I'm all about this, about improving my students' performance that's measurable. And so we made 2 platoons, one that was trained and one that wasn't. So we had a control group. Within 3 weeks, I had the kids who hadn't been trained yelling at us, demanding that they get trained, because they were hearing from their classmates how much better they were doing. So why don't you learn a little bit about the science about this?
We expected, quite frankly, that a change in resilience would take at least a year of TM practice. Nonetheless, we saw a huge change in merely 2 months, just for the TM Rooks, during the most intensive part of their training program. our rooks increased dramatically in resilience. There was no change for the control group. The TM effect, if you want to refer to it that way, is a resilience effect. To the extent that negative feelings go away, it is the negative emotion that troubles those who have returned from combat so very much.
We did a pilot study in the Washington, D.C. area with Iraq and Afghanistan veterans, and we saw the same thing. In the Vietnam study that showed 50% reduction in symptoms, we saw the same thing. But the difference was, as was seen in Norwich, the results were very fast, much quicker than we expected. 50% reduction in 4 weeks and continued reductions at 8 weeks. Reductions in the same Beck depression inventory, 50% reductions, and in the military's post-traumatic stress checklist, we had 2 PTSD measurements. So the data are there. You take Luke Jensen's story, multiply it by tens of thousands, and it gives you some idea of the impact that Transcendental Meditation can make.
I am a commissioner and I help veterans with claims. And one of my passions is mental health. I went through TM with a lot of questions. Some of my family, they really questioned, why are you doing this? And I said, well, I'm doing it because I think it's something that might help me. I don't know, but I'm also doing it for veterans. Because if I can come back with something that can help me and I can help veterans, another tool in that toolbox that some of you mentioned, I'm going to do that. The positive thing that I think, based on the experience, it's preparing you for that combat, preparing you for the stress, preparing you for able to handle that. And then when you have time or when you come home, you're able to deal with that stress. I think it's outstanding, and I think it's the way the VA needs to go. Thank you.
I did learn Transcendental Meditation, and an outstanding program. I, as a leader and as a commissioner, believe that what we want to do is we want to provide tools to help people do their jobs better, tools to make their organizations they're a part of more effective, and in this case, tools to help them become a more solvent person.
For those who have served in combat and are suffering desperately, need our help, need your help, needs something for them to do themselves. Every 80 minutes in the United States of America, a veteran from some war commits suicide. We can help.